Are you afraid of being too much? This is a very prevalent fear that most have. And it's really this fear of being yourself. Because in a society that suppresses their authentic self, you will always feel like you are being too much when you start expressing your true self. And to express yourself and start feeling like you're too much is simply that contrast that you're experiencing. I don't fit in here. I'm a little weird. No one else is really doing this. No one else is like this. Is this going to be too much? There's a fear of being too much. So it wants to stay small. It wants to fit in. It wants to suppress itself. It wants to hide yourself. It wants to dim your light. It wants to dilute yourself. All of this is really the fear of being yourself, because that's really what you're saying. You're not saying, I'm afraid of being too much. You're saying, I'm afraid of being too much myself. Can you feel it? And that's exactly what you're feeling. Because when you start integrating more and more of what you are, you will always challenge the parts of yourself that want to stay small, that want to stay hidden, that want to stay diluted, that want to fit in. It's really the old self, the false self. It's really just fear, the fear of being yourself, and it's that conditioning, that fear that's conditioned, that wants to protect itself. It wants to stay small. It wants to stay hidden. Why? To protect itself. Being too much. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be who I truly am. But there comes a point where you've experienced the discomfort, the suffering of suppressing yourself, hiding, diluting, dimming who and what you truly are. You're not here to fit in. You're not here to dim your light. You're not here to hide in the shadows. You're here to be yourself. So when you say, I'm afraid of being too much, you're really saying, I'm afraid of being too much myself. And it's only by being yourself that you transform your entire life. When other people say you're being too much, that's just simply the parts of you that are being reflected as those people that want to stay small. It's the conditioning that wants to keep you small, that wants to prevent you from living as your true self. So it feels safe to play small. And these could... Let me give you some grounded examples here of the being too much. Being too much because you have integrated, let's say, more of your masculine energy, the honor, the respect that comes with it. Well, being too much might look like setting boundaries in your life that don't demand but command respect and honor. That this boundary is set to protect your space that you live in and protect the sacredness of self. So perhaps it's speaking respectfully, making eye contact, no distractions, and that's a boundary that you have set. Or a boundary that you've set that you're not wasting your time on distractions, certain activities you have cut from your life because they no longer serve you. They take away from your purpose. They're distracting you. And you see that when you set these standards, other people in your life might say, oh, you're being too much. And that's one example. Another example could be in your business. Certain practices that you have in your business, your pricing. You raise your price because you've integrated your self-worth, your self-respect, your self-love, your self-honor. You've integrated the clarity. You see the cost of your basic needs. You see that you were abandoning yourself before. You were serving from self-sacrifice. And so you raise your price. And your price that reflects this self-worth, this honor, this love, this clarity might be too much for your old clients. So they might have that narrative, they might project that price is too much. It makes them feel uncomfortable because that's what really happens. When you're too much yourself, you start making other people uncomfortable. Why? Because it starts reflecting back to them who and what they truly can be. It starts reflecting back one's potential. And it's not that the potential makes them uncomfortable, but seeing the gap is what makes them uncomfortable. Because deep down they know that same potential lies within them. The only difference is it's not being actualized. So they feel that dissonance. They feel that gap. So it's a lot easier to project on you than it is to reflect on their own resistance, avoidance, suppression. See, coming in contact with you is like coming in contact with a mirror. Some are ready for that mirror, some aren't. It will reflect some of those hard truths that people have been ignoring their entire life. But when you embrace being too much of yourself, then there comes a shift where you just say, fuck it. I'm here to be myself. I'm not here to please others. I'm not here to be what other people want me to be. And you have made that decision because it comes from the clarity that sees that when you suppress yourself, you suffer. And it's that simple. Hey guys. This is not a stick. It's my camera.
Eat it.
And yeah, what was I saying? That you're not here to please other people. You're not here to be what they want you to be. And you see, all of that is just a way that the conditioning, that fear takes over. So you no longer want to live in fear. You want to live in love. And love expresses itself unconditionally. Love expresses itself fully. And you see that being yourself, expressing yourself, is a pure expression of love. Love is what you are, and expressing yourself fully is the expression of love. So you see that we only suffer when we suppress the love that we are. The very love that we are seeking in another is the love that we are, and we'll never find it in another. We'll only find it in the recognition of what we are. And to live in love is to not just recognize the love that we are, but to express it. Which means you're no longer suppressing yourself. You love all aspects of yourself, and there's no amount of fear that's going to suppress the love that you are. So the invitation is for you to be too much of yourself. Join me on the journey of truth.